The White Tiger Night channel. Beware. Crazy shit will be discussed. If you're only on here for gun views, you probably don't want to see this one. The last thing I'm going to do on here is try to offer a little bit of solutions. I notice most people don't typically offer solutions on here. That's typically a lot of fear-mongering, a lot of scaremongering, and a lot of the things out there, typically conspiracy theories and whatnot. There's a lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation, a lot of intelligence, counterintelligence type situations going on to try to confuse people, to try to turn people off of the truth. They don't want people, if someone searches, say for example, one of these issues and they find a blog or find a research paper that claims to debunk it, and they try to create some kind of sort of flawed valid argument that makes people think that they're correct, then they'll dismiss any future theories or any future concepts that address these topics. So basically it's a very, very effective way that has been used to basically disprove a lot of the facts that are associated with conspiracy theories, because they'll put some kind of crazy off-the-wall ridiculousness out there and claim that everyone else is a tinfoil hat wearing psychopath because they believe this crazy stuff. So instead of basically attacking the facts and trying to debunk the facts, they just basically try to distract you with something even ridiculously crazy. And most of these people actually pretend to be part of the movement, part of the truth movement, part of the movement for people who are trying to make good in the society, but really they're just informants, and they're just placed there to try to control the discourse of people within the movement. So basically, this is just basically a warning. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and don't get caught up in all the craziness. I mean, just stick with the facts. That's all you really need. I mean, can anybody say thermite? But I'm not going to get into that on here. Basically, I'm trying to right now explain some of the ways that you can try to help yourself in the future, and I think hopefully people can do this. I think hopefully I can do this. But one of the main ways they keep you enslaved is through debt. You're a debt slave. They see you as debt slaves. You are the peasants. So basically you do their bidding, and many people live beyond their means. So if you wind up getting a mortgage on your house and an auto loan, okay, you lose your job and you can't pay those bills, you're basically enslaved to them through debt. So I would advise anybody, if it's possible, to try their best not to live beyond their means. Try to create at least a buffer of a savings account in case things go wrong, and try to stay out of debt. I mean, I think the main reason, with credit cards and all this other stuff, people try to put you in debt because they want you in debt, because then they can control you through your debt. You actually will become a slave to them through what you owe them. And obviously I think there's ways that you can go through bankruptcy and default on certain loans, but that's not good for you in the future and your credit score and all that. So in my advice, I would just say try your best to stay out of debt. Try not to use so many credit cards, and just try to pay your bills off, I think, as much as possible. Try to stay out of debt to keep them off your back. The infamous they, as we say. Anyway, that's one of the most important things, I think, in the current society, because many people are in debt and many people basically are enslaved, because now they have all these bills that they can't pay and they got to go work at McDonald's to make ends meet and feed their families. And there's really not very many jobs out there right now, so it's really kind of or they have to be part of the nanny state. They have to accept welfare, they have to get on the government teat, and then it's just a downward spiral from there. So in my advice, it's easier said than done, but I think one of the main ways they control people is through debt and covet means, again. But basically, I think that's a good way to stay free, basically, debt-free and free in your life to do exactly what it is that you want to do. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is in relation to the Codex Alimentarius. Be careful with certain food types, especially new food types, plastics that people are eating a lot nowadays. A lot of this stuff hasn't been tested long term, and the health effects are unknown. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and state that I know what the deal is, because I don't necessarily know that. It's not a fact. This is subjective right now, but I don't think a lot of that stuff is very good for you long term. and especially trans fats. Now, if you see hydrogenated oil, partially hydrogenated oil, trans fats, the autolyzed yeast extract and all these things, but mainly the trans fats and the partially hydrogenated oil is something that you should avoid as the plague. I mean, I think this is very bad for you. It's carcinogenic, basically causes cancer, and it's really, really negative and problematic. So stay away from trans fats, stay away from partially hydrogenated oil. It's probably a broken record, but I think that'll help you out. Try to eat lots of fruits and vegetables, obviously fiber. And another thing is the alkalinity of your body. See, many people are toxic nowadays because they eat a lot of fried foods, a lot of cooked foods. Their bodies become toxic. Their blood is toxic. And you can do this. You can do a simple test with litmus paper to find out, even with a person's blood. Most people claim, oh, it's always constant pH. That's not true. Your blood is not always a constant pH. And you can see the difference in blood pH from person to person, mainly based on diet, through litmus paper tests. And you can do it with your saliva and your blood. So if you alkaline your body, cancer cannot survive. Most people, I'm probably just going to shot for saying that, but if you alkalize your body, cancer cannot survive in an alkaline environment. The problem, the catch here, is once you get cancer, it's extremely hard to alkalize because cancer is extremely acidic, especially if it's some kind of blood cancer, it's extremely acidic, or bone cancer. So at that point, it's almost too late, unfortunately. I mean, I think it is possible, with wheatgrass, lots of raw vegetables to alkalize your body. Lemons, citrus, people might think, oh, those are acidic. No, they're alkaline in your body. It's the inverse. Milk, for example, which is basic or alkaline, is acidic in your body. So do the math, do the research yourself. Don't argue. But anyway, the most important thing is to alkalize your blood. So this is easier said than done. And it's extremely hard, but I would recommend, especially if you have any concerns or any family members with cancer or that are on the verge, to try their best at alkalizing with, say, lemon juice or wheatgrass juice. It tastes crappy, it's horrible, nobody enjoys it, but I think it's good for your health. And again, cancer cannot survive in an alkaline environment. Nobody wants to tell you that, but it's true. It's seriously, seriously true. So, again, it's hard to alkalize. It's a preventative measure. If you keep your body at a balanced pH even, and try to keep it away from the acidic level and slightly alkaline, I think you'll be a lot healthier. I think you'll feel a lot better. Your mind will be very clear, and you'll be able to think about how to stop these bastards. So I think, that's important. Again, apologies for the language, apologies for all this nonsense. I just want to take this channel and use the opportunity that I have and the knowledge that I have to try to impart it on anybody who's willing to listen. For anyone who watches my channel and for the gun reviews and stuff, I apologize. I'm not trying to get out on a freaking, soapbox right now or out on a limb. A lot of people are probably gonna, get mad about this. But basically, I just think we need to support and defend our Constitution, our country, and our health, and our families, and our wealth, and stop allowing these satanic bastards to try to walk all over us. So, most people aren't necessarily that religious these days, but many of the elite in the world actually are fairly religious. And they're very, very religious when it comes to, guess who? Satan. And another important thing, if you think that I'm just talking shit right now, go ahead and research Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove shows many of the leaders in the country actually create mock sacrifices to idols. So, how do they claim to be Christian? They're not Christians, people. Their God is money and the devil. So, when they claim God, it's the classic Luciferian tradition. They claim that the Abrahamic God is the devil, and the devil is actually God, and that you are your own God, and that you make your own rules. And they think that they're God, basically, and they worship the devil, and he gives them their power. So that might sound a little crazy for some people, and I apologize for going off on the limb there, but, that's just, again, that's my subjective opinion, but Bohemian Grove is a fact, and it is a fact that many people in the elite are fairly spiritual and very, very, very Luciferian, and basically they worship the devil. So if you want to try to dispute that, why don't you just go to church with Obama and shut the hell up? So anyway, again, I'm not trying to spread negativity. I'm trying to spread positivity. I want to help people, and I just want to impart some of the knowledge that I've learned. There's a lot more that I got that I left off here because I know people would just flip if I said it, but it's true. So, most people can't handle the truth. Most people don't want to hear the truth. Most people run from the truth and are afraid of the truth. It's pretty scary shit, honestly, and it's probably not going to help your life. So, if you really want my opinion, just go back to sleep. Go back to your job, and hopefully shit won't hit the fan until your kids are around to see it. And by then you'll be rolling in your grave. So they can blame you then. If you really want to start up and try to make a movement for the better, you'll probably be hard pressed because nobody wants to do that. Everyone just wants to sit on the couch. So this is just my part. If anyone else has anything to add, that's great. If people want to cuss me out, that's great as well. Whatever. Hopefully I'll get back to the objective gun reviews in a bit. What you all are probably on here to see. And I'll stop talking about all this bullshit, but I think it's really important that people understand this stuff. And, I think it's our responsibility to do something, because if we pass the buck on this, they might not have the same abilities as we have currently to make change. So, and they'll probably be so far down the rabbit hole at that point that they won't even be able to comprehend the word change. So this is my video on I guess all the craziness going on, basically. And again, apologies for regular subscribers, but if you want to do more research, there's great research out there. Look up Bohemian Grove, look up the Bilderberg Group, look up, the Federal Reserve, look up Codex Alimentarius, look up the Patriot Act, the Defense Authorization Act, look up the Gulf of Tonkin, okay? I mean, it's just, there's so many things that are so easily understood now that people just dismiss, claiming they're in the past, but I think this is a really good light for the future. So I think if people realize what happened in the past, they'll be more willing to try to make change in the future. So that's the White Tiger Knight. Signing out. I'm about to sign out, but I want to say one more thing. I probably shouldn't say this. I'm probably getting in trouble over this. But for any diehard people that are actually watching this video till the end right now, you're probably looking for some kind of truth. So, I would recommend, actually, if you want, we'll save that for a later video. If you want truth and you want knowledge, let me know and I'll hook you up. But if you want to cuss me out, let me know and I'll cuss you out as well. And it'll be fun. So, I apologize for the lead on there, but I just don't want to say anything that's going to turn people off in a big way. So, eventually I will probably. And eventually I'll come out and I'll probably make some videos on everything that I can. But for now, I'm just trying to build this channel. I don't want to step on too many toes right now. And hopefully you guys can find this informational and actually not be so closed-minded and actually try to find out some truth for yourself. And spread the word and let other people know. So that's the White Tiger Knight signing out. Do it for the sons and daughters of your sons and daughters now.